Cool. Okay. Shall we have a meeting?
Yes, why not?
Shall I play the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Whee!
Do you want to start, Claire, by telling us why you picked the film this week, Belfast?
Yeah, I suppose I should. I think it might have been mentioned in a podcast I listened to, and whenever someone mentions a film that sounds interesting, I write it on my list, and this one was on my list, so I suggested it in a panic last time.
The panic choices can be the best.
I didn't really know much about it, but yeah, it was recommended in the podcast, so seemed like it was worth going for. Yeah, so what did everyone think about it?
Laura, what did you think of it?
Kenneth Branagh's just not very good at making films, that's what I think.
Oh.
I think he's a bad filmmaker.
Okay.
It was very watchable. I thought it was watchable. I didn't hate it. I liked some parts of it. I thought some of the jokes were funny.
Yep.
What about you guys?
Fernando?
Well, I've seen this before. This is my second time watching it.
Okay.
And I loved it the first time. I cried the first time.
Wow.
And this second time I almost cried as well. I thought it was really good.
My God.
Nice.
We're different people.
Well, it's very rare that I agree with Fernando, but I thought this was a brilliant film.
Knew
Superb.
you would. I knew that would happen.
Oh, but
Absolutely
Michael,
great film.
I never agree. In that case, I don't like this film.
Well, that is your right. Yeah, I thought this really rescued Kenneth Branagh for me, who has done some real stinkers in his time.
I thought this was such a stinker.
I think it really helped that it didn't star him in the lead role. Something about the way he tends to be the main character in all of his films doesn't go too well. But yeah,
I think that's just because he's the wrong age. I think if one of the characters had been the right age, he would have been in it.
Yeah, I mean, I get the impression that the little boy was meant to be him, right?
Yeah, it did seem like that.
So in a way, it was actually all about him. I don't know. I really, really loved his Much Ado About Nothing. It's one of my favourite films ever. But I haven't got much else out of him. But yeah, I thought this was great. It was just superbly shot, magnificently acted, brilliant script, really, really touching drama, nicely done. What else can I say? Great film. Thank you for picking it.
Excellent.
What did you think, Claire?
I think I'm somewhere in between. So the bits I really enjoyed. I thought overall it was really good. But there were just a few scenes where it felt too deliberate. It felt like
that was
someone
my problem
trying to make art.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's not done well enough to be
you've not earned
worthy.
this.
Yeah. So I think as a story and the bits where they were just telling a story about people, I thought those were great. But the attempts to be cool fell short for me. So,
Okay.
So it's somewhere between, I think. So I'll argue it both sides.
Okay.
Good to have a
depending
Belgium.
on what mood I'm having at that moment.
I'm going to try and not dig deep into my opinion in, like I did with, what was that French film we watched?
Masculine Feminine.
I'll try not have a repeat of that and remember that I did like some parts about this.
Okay.
Just being angry that people disagree with me and being like, no.
So Laura, tell us why you hate all black and white films.
Bunch of try-hard films. That's
Is it because there weren't any chase scenes? No cars exploding.
Where were the vampires? Where were the werewolves? Where was the ancient blood feud?
No one had superpowers at all. What a shit film.
I want Kate Beckinsale. I want her in a lycra one piece. I don't want her running around shooting guns.
In fact, I'm starting to think Sean Connery wasn't even in this film from start to finish.
You weren't looking hard enough.
Go on, what was so bad about this then? What did Kenneth Branagh do to you?
Okay, I think he makes just utterly wacky, random directorial decisions to try and be bold, and it fails.
Okay.
All it does is disconnect me from the characters. When you have a scene that's shot from outside a window while people are having an intimate conversation, I'm like, oh, good for you, well done. You know how to work a camera from a mile away. I thought it was generic, Oscar baity. How do you make a film about the Troubles without having any politics in it? No ideology, no stances, no one had anything to say. There was no intimacy for me. I thought you didn't earn your intimate moments with the characters, because every time we had an intimate moment, he just cut scene. It was like next scene, next scene, next scene. We have people reacting very dramatically, like the mother bursting into tears when she's on the phone, and I'm like, you haven't earned this. I can see why logically, like we know the circumstances around why she's upset or why anyone's reacting the way they do, but you didn't put any time or depth or effort into it, so it's not working for me. Those are the main reasons.
Okay. Well, I can't entirely disagree with you, though I really liked this film. There's something in what you're saying. You're totally right about it. So I could hardly bear Murder on the Orient Express because of the wacky camera angles. They'd set up the camera so it's above the doorway to one of the compartments. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But in such a way that you can't quite figure out where anyone is or quite what's going on, and that the camera is surely above the roof, and so we shouldn't be able to see it at all. That kind of thing, drove me mad. And there were a few moments of drama in this film that fell a little flat because it just seemed like a desperate attempt to make drama happen. And I see what you mean, but it didn't quite earn it. But overall, I thought there was enough in there. There were enough. I did care about the characters, and I cared about the way they were interacting with each other.
I suppose I did too, because I thought it was really well acted.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought me in a bit, because I did care about them. And the kid was really cute.
So much of good child acting, though, is good directing.
I guess. Oh no.
Anytime he was doing well, they hit it just right. I'm thinking about the Christmas Day scene where he's so happy and that he just transforms into just this hysterical screaming when he thinks he's going to go away from Belfast. Just the timing in that, and that could have been really rubbish if it had been just shot a little differently or edited just a little differently. I think there was a lot of sensitivity in the way that it was edited, and I thought that was good. And we didn't dwell on scenes for very long, but it was trying to give us a taste of his whole life. It was trying to give us a cross-section of what it was like to be this little boy in Belfast, and I think it did a really good job of that, even without hours of setup for each of the characters. And,
I'm not asking for much. I don't want hours of setup. I just want to spend a little time when you're trying to make me feel emotional, instead of just cutting me off. I don't know. It just,
Did you want the film to be longer?
No, I thought it was a good length. I didn't want it to be longer. Or maybe I did want it to be longer. I don't know. I just thought, not unpacking anything. There's no depth to anything. I mean, it kind of works because we're seeing, sweet innocent child in amongst turbulent political times. Again, we don't really dwell on. But I thought Jojo Rabbit did that better.
Okay.
It was more of a contrast between the innocence and the hardness of what was going on around him. I just felt like the adults in this film didn't do enough. They weren't written well enough, maybe. Like the dad, I don't see anything of his character. I don't know what he's really like. We don't have a good character portrait for him, I don't think.
He loves his family.
Loves his family. That's the main thing about him.
That was about it.
Doesn't hate Catholics.
Nope. Very tolerant man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was good enough. I mean, he had a clear way that he was making decisions for the family, but he was also kind of gentle with it, and he cared about how they felt. He was sort of loving and he was kind, but also he was a strong father figure. And I think in among all of that, I thought we had a good character there.
Yeah. It felt like they almost had a dynamic where he's struggling to explain the real world to his small child, but they dropped that really quick, I think.
Oh, how do you mean? When did they have that?
In the beginning, I think the child is trying to ask. I don't know anyone's name. Did anyone have a name?
I didn't get most of them.
The adults didn't.
Did the boy have a name? Oh, he didn't he?
He was Buddy.
Buddy, that was it.
He was Buddy.
Buddy, and the brother was Will.
Oh, but the adults weren't named.
No, they were just Ma and Pa, weren't they? And
yeah, okay.
Granny and Pop. I feel like the film was from Buddy's perspective. I think that's why they didn't have names. I think that's maybe why it lacked political depth.
That was
because he didn't understand.
I think if you were a good filmmaker, though, you could bring in political depth.
Yeah,
I thought there was some depth. I mean, we saw what the arguments were about. Is that there was this division between the two communities, and
I don't think that's depth. I think that's that's the basic. These are the troubles. Look at them. We're not gonna. We don't think about them too hard, though. We don't care that much.
There were different communities, and they were living in somewhat segregated areas.
Yep.
And there were armed militias that were trying to cleanse neighbourhoods and were, bringing in the tactics of gang violence, which was leading to an intervention from the army and a sort of war-torn city.
This is my point, though. It's a bit of an idiot's guide to the troubles.
Well, no,
if you're making a film about, I wanted that.
Well, it wasn't a history of the Troubles, was it? It was a.
I've seen so many films about Ireland that does this really well.
Okay. What, by giving you more of the history?
No, it's not necessarily like a history lesson. It's just you show how the characters respond a bit better. And I don't know, just how this felt a bit like it was just doing a worse version of what Derry Girls does by just having little news clips, but ones that are just clearly so written to be exactly on the nose about whatever they're. Be like, oh, there's a riot, or oh, there's, I don't know, the other things. Just so basic, so simple, so nothing. And again, not taking any stance on it whatsoever, just being like, oh, isn't it bad when people don't get along because of religious reasons? And I just think there's more. It's just not really. It's robbed of any meaning, I think.
Did you want it to be more moralising?
Yes, I did.
You wanted a big banner at the start talking about how brilliant the British Empire was. And...
They should have played Rule Britannia over and over again instead of Van Morrison.
Yeah.
Might be more ethical. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, look, one day, I've got a big list of Irish films that are on my list, so one day I'm going to pick them and then we can compare them, and I'll be like, this was... Because I realise I'm being a bit of a dick here. I'm just shitting on this film and I can't name why, which is annoying. Yeah, I don't know.
It's fair if it didn't connect, but again, I thought the clips were quite good. That was us seeing it the way Buddy saw it, just sort of this sort of vague understanding of what's going on in the city, but also that's not the biggest thing that he's concerned about, and he mostly just cares about his own family, and also that was kind of indiscriminately blurred in with like old westerns that he's watching on TV, and that those are kind of given equal weighting somehow because they were as important to him in his life, and I thought that was kind of good.
Yes. Maybe we should talk more about what you enjoyed about it. Fernando, why did you like it so much?
Well, maybe it was basic, but given that I knew, and I still know very, very little about the Troubles in Northern Ireland, I felt like I was enlightened by
that's good.
the film. Like, whoa. I felt like I had learned something. Apart from that, I liked the family story within the Northern Irish story. I liked how they portrayed very well the very hard choice that some people face in leaving the place where they live. It was not just straightforward, like, oh, we're having troubles here. Now we'll just leave. No, it's, they say, yes, we're having trouble, but even though we're having trouble, I really like this place, and it's hard to leave. And I thought that was very well conveyed, or at least that's my opinion. Yes, those are my main point, I guess. Those are the main things why I like the film.
Cool. That makes sense. It's a good way to learn about the Troubles if you're just diving in. So I suppose it does do that well. If that's what it was trying to do, then that's fine, I guess.
It gave Fernando said about people showing the reason that they wanted to stay despite everything, and that was the bit that I kind of learned, because like from the start of the film, like where he was thinking of leaving, I was like, oh thank God, like get out of this horrible place, oh my God, get away from fucking Belfast. And it was, I went on a bit of a journey with the dad to sort of realise the reason that people wanted to stay behind, and why it took such urgent danger for them finally to leave. And that was interesting. Though I already knew like a bit more about the Troubles and their history and what they were.
Yeah. Claire, what did you think?
Go on.
I was just saying what Claire thought.
So I suppose that the thing I liked most about it was the human moments. So I think it's very easy to talk in very general terms about the Troubles, and there was a car bomb attack and that sounds really horrible, but seeing it from the perspective of this little boy and just how scary that is, and just how, because I felt like it tied in very familiar emotions, things like having a crush at school, and dealing with that, and that being on a par with trying to deal with someone exploding a car right outside your house, and you're just trying to navigate this world, and just so I feel like it did well at helping explore just how huge those emotional traumas were, and like his relationship with his grandparents I thought was just lovely, and that made it all the harder at the end when he leaves the grandma behind. Like, she's just on her own now.
Yeah.
I found that just so difficult.
Heartbreaking. Yes. Why was she left behind?
Yeah, why didn't they take her? I guess she wouldn't go, would she? No, she said
I don't think she'd have gone, for the same reasons the mum didn't want to go. But yeah, it was just, I think it dealt with the scary stuff really well. It was very acute, how it made me, the feelings. But I felt like a lot of the artsy scenes, like things where, you just see people standing in the street really awkwardly from a distance after something dramatic had happened, was like a bit stupid. And the weird singing scene.
I liked the weird singing scene, I think. Was that right at the end? I think it was when Jamie Dornan's singing at the end. Is that the only time they sing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That almost won me back. The dance number that they did at the end was great. Really enjoyed that. What a joy. I love it when people dance at the end of a film, like another round. Spectacular.
I just wanted to say that I kind of hated the dancing scene, and it was like the end of Shrek 2 and Mulan, and it didn't work at all.
Do you mean both brilliant end scenes?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a dramatic change in tone and sort of the rules of the film. Maybe that's probably why I liked it.
Peak Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah. I thought, why not? Let's have a bit of a laugh at the end.
Oh man,
it doesn't matter anymore.
We really have different priorities, don't we?
Yeah.
That really blew from it. What did we think of the use of colour?
It was interesting.
It was. I liked it. I think I quite liked it.
Me too. Wasn't too arbitrary and pointless.
Yeah, I liked that the granny's glasses had colour in them when they were watching a colour film. That's a good little touch. I don't know what it means. I don't think it means anything. I think it was another thing that was just like, that would look cool, wouldn't it? But you know what, Kenneth? It did. Well done.
The colour was outside of their humdrum lives.
Oh.
It was the...
I meant the colour in the glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's because that was what she was seeing, right?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, you're right. No, it makes sense.
I actually didn't notice it the first time it happened. I think it was in... Was it in the 10,000 BC movie?
I thought it was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, maybe it was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But I kind of didn't spot it. I just thought, like, oh, it's a clip from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then I was, oh, hang on, this whole thing's been in black and white.
Oh, the whole... Yes, I think it was 10,000 years. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incidentally, I know what my next film choice is going to be.
I thought that the whole way through. I was like, we gotta watch that film.
Yeah, I've got to watch the Skimpy Cave Woman film.
Yeah.
I saw a bit of it on like Channel 5 once when I was a kid. And it was crap, proper rubbish film that I think had very little going for it except the girl in the bikini running around. Maybe that's enough.
It looks incredible. I think this is my type of film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that. So it sounds like we kind of didn't disagree on this film all that much.
No, I think we probably have more in common
but
than... Yeah.
Yeah, something about the drama wasn't quite landing for you then.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was lacking something for me. I thought there was a good film in there, and I just thought in the hands of someone else, it could have been a genuinely good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only Tarantino had got to it.
I was thinking that through. I thought some of the arbitrary conversations could be minorly a bit better.
Okay.
Some of them were really good, though. I enjoyed cholesterol joke.
I thought a lot of it rang very true. They felt like real conversations.
Yeah.
A real kind of banter that communities have going. And yeah.
The Irishy.
Yeah, what are they like? So a lot of it, in fact, Claire said it reminded her a bit of like people in Ayrshire, and I could see that a lot. It was stuff like her singing at the top of her voice and him saying, "What did you do with the money?" And she asked, "What money?" And he says, "The money your ma gave you for singing lessons." So that's just exactly the kind of thing I can hear people saying. It's a very, very familiar sense of humour. Just rang very true. A lot.
It was good. Yeah, that was probably my favourite things about it. A good old laugh we could have when it wasn't trying too hard. I thought it just felt a bit more natural.
It was just it had something true to say, and that was beautiful. One thing I liked, in terms of the like what it had to say about the Troubles, I thought it was quite profound that we never saw any Republican militias. That almost all of the characters in the film were Protestants, and everything, like all of the stuff that they were afraid of, was caused by other Protestants.
Yes, I like that too. I thought, that's good. They've given me a good, clear villain. The Protestants. It's always the bloody Protestants.
Wait, hang on. That's not what I was going to say at all.
That's the message I took from that
film. Oh, bloody hell. We were... Well, I was going to say almost the opposite. Which is that it like their all of the harm that was being done to them was by their own community, right? That
the Protestants,
yeah. And we had some vague idea that like there is this thing called the IRA that's causing a lot of this trouble as well, but we didn't even see like a single one of them. We didn't see a single like Catholic march or IRA bombing. It was all just the people who were supposed to be on their side that were terrorizing them and tearing their community apart. And I thought that was a real, that added some subtlety to it. And it was well beyond like identifying a side of the conflict that was bad.
The Protestants.
I'm not sure we've got, I think It definitely showed a bad side of Protestantism, particularly the minister himself, who was a lunatic.
Yeah.
And I was interested. I'd kind of like to know how realistic that was, because my impression tends to be that the people who are actually religious don't get too involved in this, and it's just the like crazy people who just like hate people who speak in a certain way who actually get into the whole sectarian conflict. But the preacher, he was something else.
Yeah. No, I think it's
Catholic.
Yeah. No, I think it's maybe that's what I was trying to say, because I think it is at all levels of institutions in the country. It's through police, the churches. It's all the sectarianism is everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so.
But didn't you see the final of Derry Girls?
I saw the end of the first series. There were a couple of series of Derry Girls, weren't there?
3, I think.
3. Yeah, I only saw the first one.
I see. You'd be much more caught up on what this was like if you'd seen the final season.
Oh, well, I did enjoy Derry Girls. It was a very good show. I should come back to it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've got to look forward to the finale now. So I thought... Also,
I think it's Protestants who like to march. I think you'll find.
Don't they all like to march?
No, it's definitely the Protestants.
Is it definitely? I don't know what... I can't figure out how serious you're being.
Quite.
I mean, they certainly do march.
Love to bang those drums.
Oh dear. It still happens, doesn't it? They do these marches.
There was one when I was in Belfast.
Christ.
In July last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, not that long ago. Well, to be fair, they were only marching because it was Pride. So it was like a, like a revenge march.
Oh, right.
Rather than a genuine march, yeah.
Oh, what a confusing mess. So they're like marching ironically? No,
they were doing an anti-Pride march.
Oh, an anti-Pride march.
Yes, sorry, I should have made that clearer.
As if harassing Catholics wasn't bad enough, they need to get gay people as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what can you do?
Move to England, I guess.
Move to England, that's what they did.
They've never done anything wrong.
Well, definitely, like, very much reduced chance of someone firebombing your house if you move to England. Yeah, I'd have been out of there like a shot.
If it was Aylesbury, you reckon? I mean, you live in St Andrews now, actually. What if it was St Andrews?
Aylesbury was bad enough. Let me tell you, Aylesbury is not as bad as Belfast, if this film has anything to go by.
Well, I moved away from the west coast of Scotland.
That's true. Claire's the only one of us with real experience of this.
No, it didn't involve blowing up cars, but it did involve separate primary schools with kids who weren't allowed to play, otherwise their big brother and sister would come and take them inside.
Dear, oh dear.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Didn't you get accused of not playing with someone because she was Catholic once?
Yeah, I was 6.
Oh.
And you know how when you're little, your best pal is whoever you're sat next to in a classroom?
Yeah.
Just whoever the teacher is sat next to you becomes your best pal.
Yeah.
I don't know, the classes all changed, like when you go from primary 1 to primary 2. And so I was playing with someone else, and she and a little gang came and asked why I wasn't playing with her anymore. Is it because she's Catholic? And I said, no, I don't know what that is.
You should have said yes.
I should have done with hindsight. I should have said, yes, I hate you.
Oh.
Because of your really well-developed religious belief.
She just... some very, very strong opinions about the Eucharist.
Yeah. Cannot believe you think bread is actually the body of Christ. I'm not playing tag with you. Or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, our primary school was separated from the Catholic school by a big wall and a big fence. And then the roof got blown off the Catholic school.
God.
So they joined into the one big campus.
Did it?
And yeah, and we, like, the kids just didn't play with each other into the schools.
Children
It's
are
like,
bastards, aren't they? That's where it starts.
Well, can you imagine that, like, being that small and already have been taught that they're different? Because you'd go home and play with them until someone taught you not to. Like, it didn't occur to children. But, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be taught that, don't you?
I disagree. I think they teach adults. They grow into adults, don't they?
The
Makes
children
sense.
teach the adults.
We all started as children.
It's true.
The world started as children.
Yeah,
It's the children's fault.
Where did the first prejudice come from?
You be careful with Heather now. She's going to grow up and teach you to hate Catholics.
Oh, she wouldn't. She looks so innocent.
They all do. I loved it when he stole the laundry powder.
Oh, bless them.
That was cute.
That was the best line in the film.
Why did you steal?
It's biological.
Yeah, that was great.
That was absolutely true, right? He'd just been told firmly, take something, anything you need. Yeah. Oh, poor little boy. I quite like that he took the Turkish Delight and everyone hates Turkish Delight. I think I'm the only person in the world who actually really loves Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have had that in a minute.
You'd have been hated for it.
Yes, maybe that's
ostracised by your community.
The original division between peoples. One of those Turkish Delight lovers. Set up a separate primary school for them.
I've got symbolism.
Symbolism.
Yep. Oh, symbolism.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
wait.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't have the symbolism bell. I'm sorry.
Symbolism.
Symbolism.
He steals the Turkish Delight, doesn't he? He's from the one family that's not that fussed about religious division.
Oh.
And he's the only one that likes the delicious treat from the Arab world, from the Muslim world. Not Arab world. But yeah, he's willing to embrace other cultures where everyone else just wants a crunchy.
Wow.
I like it.
That's pretty good.
I mean, he did say that he doesn't like the Turkish Delight and he refused to eat it. But it's still, we're close.
Don't spoil symbolism, Michael.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't need to stop picking holes in these.
He stole the detergent because he wanted to clean up the streets.
He did.
But not in the sense of cleansing.
Oh dear.
Like, in terms of cleaning up the violence.
Oh, well, yeah, what does he mean when he says it's biological? Does he mean the religious difference is biological?
It's biological, yes.
We're just different from the men.
Kenneth Branagh is a genius.
Give that man a BAFTA.
I think he's probably given himself one already, is he not? It's a shame he was cast as Lockhart, because the more time goes on, the more I'm thinking they're quite alike.
Yes, that was a clear... Yeah. You're right. Oh, dear.
Dear, oh dear. Do you remember when Sally Mapstone got all the Catholics together for a big celebration of Catholics?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, we had a Catholic member of staff who said that he'd been invited to a big Catholic loving by Sally Mapstone in St. Salvator's quad. For some reason I pictured, because this was a couple of years ago, I pictured it on a boat, but I don't think they did have a boat. I think that's something my brain made up. I think it was the chapel.
Wow. Are you sure you didn't just dream all of this? I want to give this a citation needed.
My colleague was also Mr. Blobby. That was and then he whirled me away to Candyland. No, I don't know.
Say Sally's Quad. It was sort of Sally's Quad, but it was also sort of the London Eye, because we could see all the way to Paris from it.
And then we hit the Titanic iceberg.
Mr. Bean wasn't happy at all.
And it was all an allegory for my relationship with my dad. I was excited when we got a glimpse of the Titanic hotel. Shame that didn't feature a bit more.
Yeah, is that a big deal?
Well, the Titanic in Belfast is a big deal.
Yeah, I was always surprised by this. They're very, very proud of the big ship they made that sank. I mean, I guess it's still a historical thing, but it's not like it sank in Belfast. All they did was build it, not very well.
Rubbish.
They also built a lot of really good ships that actually lasted quite a long time, but I guess you put the famous one.
When you watch the news, do you say, what about all the good stuff? What about all the vans that didn't crash?
Yeah, fair enough.
I also, it was a feat, the building of it. It was just that they chose to put on too few lifeboats. That was the issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that they sank it on purpose. That was the real issue.
Oh, Christ. I didn't finish that podcast because I was getting too cross with it.
Oh, you should, because at the end, there's a good ending to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it'll make you less cross.
Oh, maybe
Made
I
me
will.
cross. So it made me cross, you'll like it.
Oh, well. Okay. Oh, maybe I'll stick to it.
Yeah.
The whole thing's a big joke. It's like John Cleese. I'm just waiting for him to reveal the sort of devastating payoff that for the last 10 years, as he's been saying more and more sort of outrageous right-wing stuff, it's actually a character who's been playing, and he's going to unpack the whole thing in a 2-hour TV special. Living in hope.
Who's got symbolism?
Well, let me tell you, I've got some symbolism right here. He was watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
And I have no idea what that has to do with Belfast or anything. But something, right?
Yeah. The child catcher.
The child catcher
Because
is...
the baddies were snatching their innocence.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They didn't show the child catcher scene, though, did they?
No, they showed them falling off a cliff and just dramatically, at the last second, making it and flying away, which is sort of what they did. Like the whole community was falling off a cliff.
That's pretty on the nose, isn't it?
How about vehicles as symbols at various points in the film?
Oh, okay.
Or how vehicles are part of the story. Because there's the explodey one at the start.
Yep.
Telling us about how there's explosions.
Yep.
And then they use the car as part of the barricade at one point, but the doors are all blown off it and stuff. So it's kind of rubbish, actually, as a barricade.
Permeable.
Permeable barricade. Semi-permeable membrane. Something. There's buses. They're on buses quite a lot, going to the hospital and then leaving to move to England. A lot of things happen on buses. And then Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is the hero car that saves the people on it from drowning when they drive off a cliff. So that's got to be important. Maybe that's what the bus at the end is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang saving them from the trouble.
Claire, you've nailed it.
You've done it again.
There we go.
Well done.
The whole thing was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah. Something.
Who's seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
I've not seen it.
I think I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
Have you seen it, Fernando?
No.
It's worth a watch. It's quite a real sort of big entertainment film. It's like 2.5 hours long, and there's a lot happens. Good for kids. It's from a bygone era of like kids' entertainment that was meant to be a real event and not something to like shut them up for an hour.
It says here that it's a children's novel written by Ian Fleming for his son Casper.
Wait, Ian Fleming, who did the Bond novels?
Yeah, same one.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That can't be true.
That's true.
A diverse career. Good for him.
Cool.
I think they considered Dick Van Dyke for Bond at one point, didn't they?
No.
Did they?
I'm sure I've heard that.
Can't believe that.
That
I mean, that would have been
can't be
amazing.
Oh, I'm just imagining Bert from Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's what it says. They offered the role to him.
I'm glad he said no.
Name
He said
was Bond. James Bond.
He couldn't do the English accent.
Oh no! Well, I didn't stop him with Mary Poppins. Very much couldn't do the English accent. So they figured it was more important for Bond. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, maybe we should pick it sometime. I probably won't, though. It's not actually that good.
Do you recommend the film, or do you recommend the novel?
Oh, I've never read the novel. I'd faintly recommend the film. It was, something pretty cool. I reckon, like, if it's on at the cinema and you've got a child you could take to it, that would be spot on.
I think if there's a novel version available, you're a bad person if you don't read the novel first. Are you an uncultured person, Fernando?
Is there a novel version of Belfast?
I hope so. Yes.
What if it turns out to be a graphic novel? Do you have to read that first?
Don't know. I have to ask someone who's up on these things.
I never read a novel first if there's a film.
I was just joking.
You did not read Harry Potter first.
Oh, I did do that, but that was before the film came out.
First, though.
Well,
I read Harry Potter and then they made a film.
First?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
I said if there's a film, I never read the novel first.
I reckon Kenneth Branagh's autobiography is probably going to be the book version of this, surely.
I suppose
That's true,
so.
yeah.
I was about to say, has he written an autobiography? But has he written an autobiography?
Yeah, it's called Magical Me.
Magical Me by Kenneth Branagh. With a flourish of his quill, he signed his name on the first page. Oh, poor Kenneth Branagh.
We've not really commented on actors, and there was a bit of an all-star cast.
Yes, we had some great actors, didn't we? Judi Dench was brilliant,
Great.
as always.
No
Yeah.
old women Northern Irish actors that they could ask to be Granny.
Not as good as Judi Dench, though.
Yeah, you got to cast Judi Dench if you can get Judi.
She was incredible as well.
Yeah.
And who was her husband, the granddad?
Kieran Hind.
Kieran Hind. I recognised him, but I couldn't remember where from.
Me too.
He's
And then I
in
looked it up and I
lots of
still can't remember. Let's look him up again. Here we go. Oh. I accidentally Googled TV series. That's no good at all.
things. He was in Rome. I don't know if
in
anyone saw
Harry
that TV
Potter.
series.
He was what's Dumbledore's brother?
Aberforth.
Aberforth. I think he was Aberforth.
Okay.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
I guess when you're that old, you've been in something or other.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good.
I think Jamie Dornan's brilliant. I was surprised he got second billing after Judi Dench ahead of Kieran Hind.
He was the dad, was he?
Yeah.
He was quite important, wasn't he?
Yeah, I suppose so.
And they never build the children first, do they?
Well, no, he was introducing
Yes.
whoever he was.
Did they build Judi Dench first?
Yeah, I think so.
Did they? That's mad.
Yeah.
Well, that's mad.
But it's Judi Dench.
That's true. I'd have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I've just
Changed the
Judi
title of
Dench
the film to Judi Dench stars in Belfast. A Kenneth Branagh production.
Did anyone else think that it was a bit... I was a bit like, well, I know what's going to happen, don't I? Because Kenneth Branagh's got an English accent.
Okay.
So of course they moved to England.
Well, I wasn't sure because I figure he went to RADA.
Oh, I see. You thought they could have just beaten out of him.
Yeah. Or thinking about it, I've never actually heard him speak in an interview or anything. It could just be all the characters that he plays are English. But yeah, just
There you
classically trained actors, right?
Yeah, true. He is good in things. I enjoy Kenneth Branagh sometimes. He's a rubbish Poirot, but
Yeah, I didn't like him as Poirot.
Yeah.
Again, he was so good as Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah.
I thought that was his defining role for me.
Oh, there was totally Lockhart for me. I love Lockhart.
Okay. He did a good Lockhart.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated him so much.
It's my favourite character in Harry Potter.
I'll just never forgive him for divorcing Emma Thompson.
Oh, and cheating on Emma Thompson.
She's just perfect in every way.
Yeah.
You know it's just a film, right?
No, he cheated on her with Helena Bonham Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Helena Bonham Carter wasn't even in Much Ado About Nothing. You're thinking of Hamlet again.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me... Sorry, you're telling me actual Kenneth Branagh was married to Emma Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then cheated on her with Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes.
Leading to the breakup of their marriage.
Yes.
That is top quality gossip. That's brilliant. How did I never know about this? How many celebrity couples break up due to an affair with a third equally famous celebrity who's been in loads of stuff with both of them?
I wonder. I don't know. I can't think of anyone else.
That's an amazing love triangle.
Yeah.
God, and they were all teachers in Harry Potter, right?
No.
Or no, she was Bellatrix Lestrange.
Bellatrix Lestrange, yeah.
But they were all in Harry Potter.
They were all in Harry Potter.
They were. I think they were in different Harry Potter, so...
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Lockhart was in the second one.
Yeah.
And...
Trelawney features heavily in the third one.
Trelawney features heavily in the third one. We don't see Bellatrix until the fourth one onwards. Fifth one. Oh, but you see a bit of Trelawney in the fifth one. So I bet they were on set at the same time. Oh. Wow, tantalising. God, you can see why people buy these magazines, can't you?
Well, I'm glad I got to be here when you learned for the first time about this.
Yeah. Still, what a bastard. Poor Emma.
Poor Emma Thompson, I know.
Oh,
so that scene in Love Actually. Yeah, she did get cheated on by Snape. Oh my god.
No, that's just a film.
No, Snape's real.
Tell me that's just a film. She didn't remarry Alan Rickman.
And then he cheated on her with Judi Dench.
I don't even know if that was a film now. I'll believe anything. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What happened in the end? Did Kenneth Branagh and Helena Bonham Carter go any further? Did they get married?
No, they didn't get married. I
think they were together for a while, were they not?
Right.
That sounds right. I can't remember.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think he's married to someone else now.
It says here that he's married to Lindsay Bronach.
Ah.
Don't even know who that is. God, so the whole Bernard and Beatrix story in Much Ado About Nothing is going to feel so different now. This sort of how they hate each other but they fall in love, and was that before or after the affair?
It must have been before, surely.
I don't know.
So they got divorced in 1995, and then he had a relationship with Helena Bonham Carter till 1998.
Yeah, so I think Much Ado was 93. So were they married? Or tell me they fell in love on set.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Except not, because it all ended so.
Yeah.
When did Kenneth Branagh marry Emma Thompson? I think we should set up a gossip corner as a weekly segment on our...
Yeah, gossip. I don't think that would end well for us.
Oh, they were already married. People. That's true.
Okay.
They married in 1989.
Oh, so it's just Kenneth Branagh cast his wife in the thing.
Oh.
And yeah, probably best actor in it. He was lucky to have her.
Mm.
Right, we need to fill in the gaps then. What was the link to the last film, which was The Last Emperor?
Oh, now you're asking. Ooh.
Certainly am.
Intimate focus on a handful of characters with a backdrop of large political, events.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and we only kind of get a hint at the events through the experiences of this one central person who's kind of
Largely a
naive
child.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was easy.
Wow. What's the
Cool,
next
done.
one?
Who's who then?
What if we recast all men as women and women as men?
Yes. Yes, we'd have the fretful husband who throws plates at the wife. That scene would have played out differently. Yeah, I like the idea of like the gangs of like being led by women who are trying to kick all the Catholic women out of the street or whatever. That's something engaging about that.
Nice.
What if we were cast as the characters?
What if we were cast as the characters?
Or who would be?
I would be the Protestant preach.
Yeah, we'd have Fernando yelling about fire and brimstone.
I think I'd be the fretful mother.
Perfect. You'd be the fretful mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think they overdid her. I was a bit nervous about it because a lot of her role seemed to be to sort of bring the mood down and tell people off, but they made her into a proper character as well. It wasn't just like Darkwater.
Yeah, she was very sympathetic. Like, you could see why she was responding in the way that she did. I didn't think they did it that well. I thought the actress was just good.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's all you need, though.
Who would you be, Laura?
Oh, who was the guy who ran
Branagh?
around? I'd be Kenneth Branagh, yeah.
You'd be Kenneth Branagh.
Sorry, who were you
I'm
going to say?
behind the scenes and yet I'm everywhere. I am become God.
Yeah, okay, Kenneth. It's lunchtime now.
Soup today.
I want to be Buddy because I've felt a lot
you
like
can
him.
be Buddy. I'll be the dad, just to round
You'd
it
be
all out.
Oh, you'd be my dad.
No,
That's
I feel
nice.
like you, Laura, would be Catherine.
Who's Catherine?
Well, the girl with whom Buddy's in love.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
How's
I
your
think
maths?
she was a bit of a... Yeah, she was a bit of a goody two-shoes for me. I think I'd be the one who's got bunchies and wants to steal and riot.
Oh, yeah, the tearaway girl who's in a gang.
Ah, yeah, you're definitely the cousin.
Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, get swept along in a crowd.
Yes, you talked about getting swept along in the crowd. You'd have been Bounty Mutineer number 2.
Yeah.
Straight in there. Cutlass at the ready.
Yeah. Slash maybe one of Bly's crew if I was around the wrong people at the... Oh yeah, you guys you're staying loyal, are you? Yeah, great. Me too. Yeah. Getting into the boat now. Yep, it's fine.
Oh yeah, me. I'm Protestant. No, which one? Yeah, Protestant. Yeah, that's me.
I liked her speech about the double bluff. That was fun.
Yes. Yeah, it was just a perfect way of kind of demonstrating how pointless and meaningless the entire thing is. It's quite good.
That's good. Oh, well, Wilf will be disappointed because it seemed like we were going to have a proper argument.
Yeah, but yeah, I think you made some sense there. Overall, I found myself very engaged, and I found the visuals quite striking as well as the story and the drama. And
I take it back. It was all shit, and you're shit for thinking it was good.
Go
and there
to
we go. Yeah.
fucking hell, Laura. I hope you fall off the steep and narrow path to heaven and go and fall into the fires of Satan himself. Yeah, that kept it interesting.
Yeah, there we go. Ticked off.
Yeah, good conversation though, thank
Lovely.
you.
Yeah, thank you for picking it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. Great stuff.
Oh, I'm glad.
Any last
I'm
thoughts
glad
from
we
anyone?
watched it.
Yeah, it was good. I'm not so glad I had to pay $9.99 for it though.
Yeah, crap, I fucking pirated that as soon as I saw it was $9.99. It's like $9.99. I don't even get a disc.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, I should text
$9.99
Michael.
till Apple goes bankrupt, and then
But then you'll know that I've timed it to the last minute again. I'm ashamed of it. Text you at 4:15 to be like, what's the link? Send me the link.
Good stuff. Have you learned your lesson now?
I'll never learn, damn it. I'll pay any number of monies.
Any number of monies.
Any number of monies. Right,
I'm
shall
all
I
done.
play the music?
Please.
Great.
Beautiful.
Oh, I forgot to say that it was totally mad that they had a Van Morrison soundtrack and then put 2 non-Van Morrison songs in.
I know, that was really threw me.
So I guess the next thing is for us to pick the next film. We each get one more pick before the Oscars.
Ooh, how exciting.
Shall we pair off?
Yeah.
Cool. Claire and Laura?
Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Paper.
Scissors.
Damn it.
That's Claire through. Can someone count Fernando and me in?
3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
Come on, man.
Sarah
Well, we
Michael.
can't both go scissors, Claire.
Oh. Fun
Someone
taunting
count us in?
people. Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Fernando, you count them and see if it does anything different.
3, 2, 1.
Paper.
Scissors.
Well done. Claire.
Got to hold your nerve in these things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your final pick before the Oscars.
yeah, I've decided to not Oscar bait. Or maybe
Reasonable.
I am Oscar baiting. I don't know. But I'm going with The Untouchables.
Untouchables. 1987 American crime film?
That's the one.
Brilliant.
1987. Great.
Excellent.